Good evening. This is the July 2nd, 2025 Seminole County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This board is a 7-member board appointed by the Board of County Commissioners. A quorum has been established to hold tonight's meeting. Public hearing items acted upon by this board are referred to the Board of County Commissioners for further consideration. Board members present tonight are myself, Chairman Mike Lorenz, Commissioner Dan Lopez, Commissioner Carissa Lahan, Commissioner Lourdes Aguirre, Commissioner Richard German. Staff present tonight are Joy Giles, Planning and Development Division Manager, Nasa Borkert, Deputy County Attorney, Jim Potter, Professional Engineer, Development Review Engineer. Welcome. Annie Silloway, Principal Planner, Caitlin Apigar, Senior Planner, Hillary Patton, Planner, and Tammy Brushwood, P&Z Board Clerk. Tonight's meeting will go as follows. Staff will introduce the item. The applicant will present their item. Audience members wishing to speak will then be heard. Audience participation requires each speaker complete a comment card and give it to the clerk. Comment cards are located in the lobby. Please indicate on the comment form whether you would like to make oral comments. Written comments will also be accepted. Speakers should restrict their comments to information directly related to the item being heard. When called, speakers should approach the microphone clearly stating their name and address for the record. The board may ask questions of the speaker. After all speakers have been heard, public comment will be closed. The applicant will then be given a chance for rebuttal. Any items shown, such as videos, presentations, pictures, or maps, must be left with the clerk for public record. Items shown from electric devices should be emailed to the clerk. A motion will be made and seconded. Board discussion may occur and conclude with a vote. I will request a roll call vote for any split votes. All right, let's get started with the agenda. We'll start with the acceptance and approval of proof of publication. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. That motion passes. Next, we'll be approving the minutes from May 7th, 2025 P&Z meeting. Does the board have any changes to those minutes?
Move to approve.
All right, do I have a
Second.
second? All right. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. All right, next we'll move to our technical review item of the day, Notting Pines Preliminary Subdivision Plan. Ann Silloway presenting. Evening.
Good evening. Annie Silloway, Principal Planner. I will be presenting the Notting Pines PSP. The applicant is requesting approval of the Notting Pines Preliminary Subdivision Plan containing 31 single-family residential lots on approximately 17.42 acres in the R1 AA Single-Family Dwelling Zoning District, located east of Notting Pines Way, approximately a quarter-mile south of Red Bug Lake Road. The subject property has a low-density residential future land use, which allows a maximum of 4 dwelling units per net buildable acre. The PSP proposes 31 single-family residential lots with a maximum density of 2.45 dwelling units per net buildable acre. The development will have one access point onto Notting Pines Way, and the proposed development is located within the Seminole County Utilities and will be required to connect to water and sewer. Staff finds the preliminary subdivision plan to be in compliance with all applicable provisions of Chapter 35 of the Seminole County Land Development Code, and staff requests approval of the preliminary subdivision plan for the Notting Pines subdivision containing 31 residential lots on 17.42 acres, zoned R1 AA, located east of Notting Pines Way and approximately quarter-mile south of Red Bug Lake Road, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any questions from the board of staff? Seeing none, is the applicant present?
Yes.
All right, please come to the, and name and address, please.
Hi, Ben Beckham, Ben Moorhead Stokes, 431 East Ratio Avenue, Maitland, Florida, 32751. Here to answer any questions you might have.
Anything to add as well, or, no, you good?
I think Andy did a great job.
Okay, excellent. Any questions from the board?
No, beautiful.
See none? All right, thank you.
Are you open to a motion?
Yeah. Motion's open.
It's a technical review.
and public comments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's a technical review. but-
Sorry. You always ask.
yeah. Is there any, was there any comment cards for this particular item? Okay, then I'll open and close public comments.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to request preliminary approval of the preliminary subdivision, not preliminary approval, approval of the preliminary subdivision plan for the Notting Pine subdivision containing 31 residential lots on 17.42 acres, zoned R1AA, single-family dwelling, located east of Notting Pines Way, approximately a quarter mile south of Red Bug Lake Road.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. On to our public hearing item. First one up will be Maija Sushi and Hibachi Special Exemption. Hillary Hayden presenting. Hi, Hillary.
Good evening. Hillary Payton, Planning and Development. This item is a request for a special exception for Miyagi Sushi and Hibachi to allow a restaurant within 1,000 feet of a school to obtain an alcohol license in the E-Tour Plan Development on 9.51 acres located on the south side of Westlake Mary Boulevard, east of Sun Drive. The applicant currently operates a bona fide restaurant and would like to serve beer and wine for on-site consumption. The restaurant is 2,000 square feet in size and seats 56 patrons with no outdoor seating. The hours of operation are Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 9:30 p.m. The restaurant, located within an existing planned shopping center, is 544 feet from UCP Early Seminole Learning Center off of Sun Drive on the north, which does not meet the 1,000-foot separation from the school as required by Section 30.6.6.2 subsection D of the Seminole County Land Development Code. The Land Development Code states that certain criteria must be met for the Board of County Commissioners to approve a special exception request. Staff finds that the request meets the four criteria. On June 8, 2025, the applicant held a community meeting in compliance with the Land Development Code. Details of the community meeting have been provided in your agenda package. Staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend the Board of County Commissioners approve the special exception request with the conditions stated in the development order to allow a restaurant within 1,000 feet of a school to obtain an alcohol license in the associated PD zoning district. This concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
I have one. I noticed in the staff analysis that it says that that there are existing restaurants in the same shopping center that serve alcohol.
Correct.
Are those all also special exceptions that were previously granted by the county?
No, there were some that were essentially grandfathered in. They existed prior to the school being there.
Are there any special exceptions that have been issued in there by the county?
No, not that I found.
But there are already restaurants operating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a few. All right, is the applicant present? And would you come on up, please? State your name and address.
My name is Gwen Zhang.
And your address, please?
6876 Lucas Street, Orlando, Florida, 32819.
Excellent, thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add, or?
Yes, as especially this whole plaza, they have a multiple restaurant. They are currently already serving alcohol. I will see we have only common one. The next door, Don Julio, actually have a full liquor license. We only planning to sell it, because it's a Japanese fusion. So the sake for sushi will be perfect match,
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think this approval will not affecting the community, we're only putting it, this is just helping the benefit.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so you're almost next to Don Julio's then? Yeah,
Right next to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Questions from the board of the applicant?
I do. There's currently no outdoor seating, right?
No, we don't.
Any plans to?
No space, because the in front of us, it's like an entrance area.
Right.
So there's no space for that. Don Julio does put a lot of outdoor, but we can't.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, I'd like to open it up if there's any audience comment cards. Was there any for this as well? All right, so I'll open and close public comments then, if there's nobody. Yeah, is there any more discussion from the board or a motion or?
Mr. Chairman, I move we recommend approval of the special exception to allow the restaurant within 1,000 feet of school to obtain an alcohol license in the PD district on 9.51 acres located on the south side of Westlake Mary Boulevard, east of Sun Drive.
Second.
Yep, I'll second
Motion and a
that.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. All right, we will move on to item number 3, Midway Loop Trail Rezone. Caitlin Apgar presenting. Hello.
Good evening, Caitlin Apgar, Planning and Development Services for the record. Thank you. All right. The applicant is requesting approval for a rezone from A1 Agriculture to PLI, Public Lands and Institutions, for a proposed trail and other future recreational facilities on approximately 106.96 acres located on the west side of Brisson Avenue, north of State Road 46. The parcel currently has a future land use of low-density residential and a zoning classification of A1 agriculture. The intent of the low-density residential land use is to provide appropriate locations for standard detached single-family residences and allows for limited public uses, including publicly owned parks and recreational areas. The request for the rezone is to permit the proposed trail and recreation amenities, which is currently not a permitted use in the A1 zoning district. The parcel currently exists as a stormwater retention pond and was historically utilized as a borrow pit. The applicant proposes to develop the subject site as a public trail that is approximately 4,947 feet in length. The site will also contain exercise equipment and a pavilion. The subject site is currently located within the City of Sanford's utility service area. At this time, the trail project does not propose any utility services. Additional amenities constructed in the future may require utility connection and will be appropriately reviewed at that time. There is an existing sidewalk along Brisson Avenue that will provide pedestrian access to the subject property. The proposed trail project will modify some of the existing sidewalk to be incorporated into the proposed trail. The trail also proposes a connection into Roseland Park at a future phase. The proposed PLI zoning designation has been evaluated for compatibility with the Land Development Code of Seminole County in accordance with Chapter 30, Part 8. The proposed zoning is compatible with the PLI zoned property to the south that currently operates as a school and the surrounding residentially zoned property, as the trail aims to serve those neighborhoods to the north, east, and west. Publicly owned parks and recreational areas are considered special exception uses in the low-density residential use or land use. However, parks are permitted by right if included in a zoning district that is compatible with the LDR land use designation. PLI is an allowable zoning classification for LDR per the comprehensive plan. Pursuant to Seminole County Land Development Code Section 30.3.5.1, the applicant previously conducted adequate community meetings and outreach initiatives. Thus, the requirement for an additional community meeting was waived by the Planning Division Manager. The The applicant conducted a community meeting on August 22nd, 2024, and details of this meeting has been provided in the agenda package. Staff requests the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend the Board of County Commissioners adopt the ordinance enacting a rezone from A1 agriculture to PLI, public lands and institutions, for a proposed trail and future recreational amenities on approximately 106.96 acres located on the west side of Brisson Avenue, north of State Road 46. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Quick question, is the retention pond going to remain? You're just talking about a trail around there, it's not going to change the retention pond?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
Any other
question.
questions? Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
is it being presently used as a trail?
No, there's no trail existing there. This is the rezone to allow the development of the trail.
Any other questions for staff? Seeing none. Is the applicant here? Please approach. And name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. Dan Heacock, Seminole County Parks and Recreation Project Manager. I live in Orange City, Florida, 32763.
Excellent. Thank you. Anything you'd like to add? Obviously,
No, just a simple, straightforward, we want to turn this in. This is just a community that really hasn't seen a lot of investment in it, and we think this will be a valuable project for them.
excellent. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Is there anybody from the audience that wanted to speak on this and turned in cards? No cards. For or against it? No cards.
We do have a
There's
hand
someone
out
who-
We
there.
do have a hand?
Two in support coming to you.
There's another one.
All right, I've got two here wishing to make roll comments in support. Oh, another one support. Let's start with Emery Green Jr. Welcome, and name and address for the record, please.
Emery Green Jr., address 2240 Church Street, Sanford, Florida. I'm the Executive Director of the Midway Coalition. First, I'd like to recognize all the residents from historic Midway that are here tonight. There's quite a few of them. As you know, this project has been underway for decades, for quite some time. To answer your question earlier, it has been basically an eyesore in the past, from dilapidated fences to in and out of code when it comes to compliance for code enforcement. But the residents have remained steadfast in their focus to make sure that this becomes a beautiful green space for the thousands of residents that are now in our historic community. One of the great things about this project is that we've seen it come from a cow pasture to producing the overpasses, taking the field dirt for 417 to now becoming one of Seminole County's most beautiful assets. So with the support of our county commission and specifically the residents, I can't thank them enough for empowering us. And if you just raise your hand, Midway residents that are here, some are actually watching online. And our Midway now is not only Midway, but it's also a lot of the other surrounding residents, Rosecrest, Riverbend, Celery City, Celery Lake, Celery Key, Celery Cove, and many more up along Celery, and even the Orlando Sanford International Airport, which is where Midway was at first, before the air base came. So there's a lot of history. This is the first step to where we want to go. There's been a lot of conversation about how we ensure that the preservation of this park is enriched by the history from the migrants in which it was established for back in the 1920s. And also there was a comment earlier about potential utility within this particular area. We've been before this board a number of times talking about utilities. As you know, we have a utility in Midway called the Midway Canaan Community Water Association. So we want to ensure that if the time comes, or when it comes, that all parties, including the City of Sanford, Midway Canaan Community Water Association, and the residents are at the table to figure out how we can envision this majestic asset for the long term, not just the short term, but for the long term. But again, we had approved and we support this initiative to rezone this, and we all agree and affirm that this will be a most treasured asset for Seminole County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming out. All right. And this one I should probably pass around. This is a nonverbal comment. Just in favor. Let's just pass it back down. This is another one that's not oral, and just to pass around. Also in full support. So, take a look at those real quick. All right, is there anybody else from the audience that would like to speak in favor or against this item? I am seeing none. I'm going to go ahead and close public comment. I guess the question is, does the board have anything to discuss here, or
This is great.
do I have a motion? Any questions?
I have a motion.
I was going to go.
Oh, we got.
Oh, I'm sorry, public comment was closed. Yeah.
I have a motion for you. I'd like to make a motion to recommend the Board of County Commissioners adopt the ordinance enacting a rezone from A1 Agriculture to PLI Public Lands and Institutions for a proposed trail and future recreational amenities on approximately 106.96 acres located on the west side of Brisson Avenue, north of State Road 46.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a first and second there. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion approved. All right.
Remind them that
Yeah.
that has to go to commission.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, just so everybody knows, this is a recommendation that will now go, to our Board of County Commissioners for, their decision. So that's the next step. So, just so you're all aware. Go ahead.
Chairman, if I may.
Absolutely.
Members of the public, if you have questions on this, you can either talk to Caitlin or the county representative. They can answer any specific questions that you have about the project. So if you'd like to do that, you're welcome to.
Yeah, and sorry about that. I already closed public comments, so I apologize.
It's refreshing to see so many people coming out in
It is.
support of a
Right?
project, right?
Yeah.
And also be able to attend the meeting of the county commissioners where it will be heard. Can we tell them the date and time of that? Do we know yet?
That will be August 12th of 2025. Yes.
It's August
August
12th. It'll
12th.
be, I think it's 1:30, but should probably check
Perfect.
the time.
All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close public hearing. Closing business, Director's report. Joy, do you have anything for the board tonight?
We have nothing to report at this time.
All right, nothing to report. All right, does the board have anything to discuss? Everybody good? All right. Seeing nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn.
Outstanding. Well done.